Ziggy woke me up quite early this morning, and since I couldn't go back to sleep, I decided to brew some coffee, do the morning chores, and get going on the earth oven. The clay's been soaking for a couple days, and I need to pour off the excess water. Truth be told, I would have preferred to keep it all in the barrel with the clay, at least to take it over where I'll be working, so I could reuse this water, rather than waste it. But I was 100% certain there was no way I was lifting this thing. Since the earth oven is about 100 feet away, and on the other side of a stone wall, meaning the trip there is longer than 100 feet, I need to lighten the load. Even with all that water gone, it was quickly apparent there was no way I was lifting this bucket. Here's another time when I wonder if I would have made a good engineer had I been able to stick with it in college. I get a lot of joy in finding simple solutions to problems, and the use of a ramp, one of humanity's oldest and simplest technologies, definitely qualifies as a simple solution. At least, that's what I smugly thought. Truth be told, this thing was still insanely heavy. Watching this made me wonder what I was thinking even trying to deadlift it in the first place.
I got it from Grammy and Gramps Pond down back.
I was pretty excited when Mars came outside and wanted to help mix the clay and sawdust. He actually stuck with it longer than I thought he was going to. I think that's because I told him he could throw any rocks he found into the woods. I'm not sure what it is about little boys and throwing rocks, but apparently it's better than TV. I didn't have enough sawdust and wood shavings saved up to make this the right consistency. Luckily, I have plenty of dried, shredded leaves, which I figure is just as good. For thousands of years, people have built these types of ovens, making do with whatever local materials they had. Having a homestead in the middle of central Maine's boreal forest means what I have is lots of leaves. Luckily, I shredded several batches last fall and stored them in the leaf house all winter. It wasn't for this purpose, but they'll do. Now that the clay, sawdust, wood shavings, and leaves are mixed together into a wet slurry, it's time to actually build the insulation layer that will sit beneath the fire bricks that make up the hearth floor. In Denzer's book, there are some suggestions for how to build this using glass bottles to provide a network of air cavities within the floor, and that's what I'm going to be doing. This will act as the insulation layer. I've been saving bottles for a while, and even bummed some from friends. I was originally thinking it would super insulate and have the bottles embedded vertically. It was apparent that that would be unfeasible. When I decided to lay the bottles horizontally, it was quickly apparent that I had way overestimated how many I would need. My understanding is that it's important to ensure the clay is worked down in between all the bottles, and that a layer of clay completely encompasses the outside of the bottles. So, I'm going to just add a bunch of clay, and then use my hands to pack it down in between the bottles. Then, I'll grab a spare piece of 2x lumber and use it to both smooth the top surface and try to vibrate any air bubbles out of the mud.